This is Rik Palieri, and welcome to another chapter in the Songwriter's Notebook. We are so honored to have our old friend Andy Cohen back with us again, and a new friend who's come here for the first time. It's Eleanor Ellis, and we are going to have ourselves a time, as they say in the South, right? We're going to have a time. We're going to have a time learning a little bit about the blues and about the journey that these musicians have went through to try and learn this type of music. And we've been talking about this casually before the cameras went on, and I think that that's something that we'd like to share with you, the viewers out there, a little bit about that journey. And we've had Andy on a few times, Eleanor, so we're going to kind of turn it over to you to hear a little bit about your journey. So where did it start?
Well, I grew up in Louisiana and in a little small town. Not much live music there, although I discovered later that my uncle, Carol, used to play in a band, fiddle, which I never knew, with Miss Lil Vernon, who played the saxophone. And Miss Lil was this little short Cajun woman who loved horses, and my Uncle Carol, the most I knew about music was he sat in a chair on Sunday and listened to classical music, but he played in a like a honky-tonk band. And so that was kind of a surprise. What I'm getting at is the people who played the music are my cousin Percy McKay. They weren't playing it by the time I came along. They grew up and they got other things to do. But so there wasn't a whole lot of really live music around that I heard. But I went to school in New Orleans and spent a lot of time there, and there was some good music. And then I went up to Maryland and met some of the blues players around there. It's not known for being a blues state, but there are a lot of really good musicians there. So
how did you find the guitar?
There was a radio station at WLAC out of Tennessee, Gallatin, Tennessee, I think. A lot of people all over the United States, I found out, would listen to that. You know, as youngsters, they would listen to the radio. And they had a blues show, and they played some amazing music, and that's where I first discovered it. So I told my parents I wanted a guitar for my birthday or Christmas or something. And so they bought me one, but I didn't know what to do with it. So I just sat on the bed holding the guitar, listening to this radio station, and thinking, how do they do that? And they gave me lessons, like I took about 2 from this guy at the local college, and he was teaching me scales and stuff, and that wasn't what I wanted. When I got to college, that was when I mainly met other people playing music, and I learned from other people. That's really how I learn. I don't really do tab. If I did tab, it would probably turn out to be a new composition. So if I saw somebody like in the Quarter in New Orleans with a guitar, especially if they had long hair, I would follow them and I would introduce myself and I would find out how they played that. And fortunately they were all nice people, because I was just real stupid, you know. You just go up to every stranger you see and say, hey, how'd you do that? But anyway, that's kind of how I got into it.
And you've been playing the blues for how long?
Well, I kind of morphed into it. I started out playing everything, like some clubs on Bourbon Street or some little uptown, like at the Maple Leaf. I played bluegrass, upright bass. They liked the way I sang. They had a guitar player, so they said, play this. They stuck it in my hand and they put little marks on the where the different notes were, and that was my training on that. But when I moved, I loved blues as well as I love other stuff, but I didn't ever think I could really do it. And I think when I moved up to the Washington, D.C., Maryland area, I began to meet people who were really playing it. Like some of the older people, like the people that were around there were John Jackson, who was wonderful and generous and could show you all kinds of stuff. And then Archie Edwards, who had a barbershop, which we'll talk about in a minute. Flora Moulton was a street singer who she sang what she called spiritual and truth music on the street. And every weather, that was her day job. She didn't see all that well. But I took her to a festival once, gave her a ride, and afterwards her regular partner, Ed Morris, had died. And she said, would you like to play with me? Like a, second guitar, or maybe some of the songs that she would do without playing. And I said, well, I've never done that before. I'll give it a try. And one of the big lessons I learned playing with her, she gave me a tape of a lot of the stuff she did that Ed did and everything. And so I thought I had him down pretty good. So we get to practice. And Flora's going along and I'm going along. All of a sudden I realized we're not in the same place. Because I was playing it kind of metronomically, and Flora was doing it however she felt. So, you sort of had to have a mental telepathy going. You had to really listen, and that was a big lesson. It's like whoever's singing the song or leading the song, that's who you follow. If they don't do it exactly regular, you don't do it exactly regular. And we used to have a good time too. She was a lot of fun.
Yeah, there are some people who are classically trained that, they don't get that. I remember working with one guy who was a really good violinist who played fiddle, sort of. And I was trying to teach him a little bit about Lead Belly, and I'm just trying to play this song, and he said, the rhythm is all wrong on that, And I said,
the rhythm's all wrong.
I brought over the recording, and he said to me, no wonder. He said, this guy can't play it either.
Oh, that's great.
So it was like, some people just don't understand what it is about, our American folk traditions, about the being irregular and being with the song. And trying to stay in that moment with the song. So before I ask you to play something, I want to know how you met this character over here.
I remember exactly
Bruce and
how.
Debbie Hutton.
Exactly, yes. Bruce
In 1971.
Nope. I wasn't.
73?
Nope, it was more like 77, at least.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have been around there.
Okay.
But yeah, we met over at a friend's house. You were playing.
And I had a gig in Tacoma Park. And
yeah.
they were putting
And
me
Bruce
out
said, there's this guy, come over and you probably enjoy meeting each other.
I was so glad they introduced me to you. They said, wait till you hear Eleanor sing. Oh. Wait till you hear Eleanor sing.
Oh, it was fun.
Well, hey, what a segue we have right there. We can't let them wait any longer.
Okay.
Eleanor,
I'm going to tell you a little bit about this song, okay? Yeah, this song I learned from a blues man named Archie Edwards. Archie was originally from Ferrum County, Virginia, claimed one of the moonshine capitals of the world. That's how he got his first guitar. But anyway, he was a barber, and he would close his shop on Saturday afternoons, and as he put it, people would be there and they'd like hang out and drink a little whiskey, play a few songs, tell a few lies. And this song I love. He learned it from John Hurt, and I love this song, and when Archie passed away, that's when I learned to sing it. Okay, so this is called Take Me Back, Baby. I'm just going to do a couple of verses.
Take me back, baby.
That was a quick one.
Why don't let's get a few songs in there before we continue talking, so we make sure that we get some music in.
Okay.
So what do you have for us?
Okay, I'm going to do a song called M&O. Well, it's two songs really, Kid Bailey and Willie Brown, either M&O or Rowdy Blues.
I thought they were the same person.
Well, some people do think they're the same person. We don't know. One of those mysteries, one of the mysteries of blues, or music, mystery of music. But basically, the reason I want to play this one is to just talk a little bit about being a female singing male songs and tunings and guitar, capos and all that. There's a certain accompaniment that goes to this song that's really neat, and I like to do it. And it's done in E position, but I have to sing it in the key of A. So I move it up. And there you go. So Andy and I are going to play this, and you can play along too if you're so inclined. Ready?
Eleanor, what do you think is the challenge, the biggest challenge for the woman who wants to sing the blues? I mean, especially if you want to learn from some of the elders. How do you go about doing that?
Well, you mean people who are still alive, or? Good question. It helps to hang out with people because it's not just the music. The music comes from a place, and it comes from a person, and it comes from a time and a culture, whatever that may be. So I think that really helps if you know people and just hang out with them, and they show you stuff, or you steal stuff, or whatever you do.
That was the big thing about Woody was asking Leadbelly to show him something, and Leadbelly said, "No, you can steal all you want, but I'm not showing you anything." Now, we were talking a little bit about the importance of not only, she is the capo queen, because
That's
she
what I call it,
uses the capo to find all of the different keys, but also she likes to tune into some of the different types of tunings. And we'd like you to do one of those songs and talk a little bit about retuning your guitar.
Well, okay, that takes up a bit of time there. But basically, just you get different feels from different tunings. You kind of makes a song new sometimes. Makes it sound new. I use a lot of drop D, which is just taking the E and dropping it down to D, and so I guess I could do this. It's going to take up a bit of time, though.
Oh, if you'd rather not do it, that's okay. Yeah, you could just,
Maybe.
Yeah,
I'll
well,
just
believe
talk
me, with
about
a banjo, I know that we have 28 different types of tunings.
28.
Yeah,
Wow.
supposedly the Rufus Crisp.
Rufus Chris.
There like 28 different tunings,
Wow.
and that's one of the influences from Pete Seeger was Rufus Crisp, and so that there was the Little Birdie tuning and the Shady Grove tuning and all kinds of tunings. And what it does, folks, is it gives the instrument a totally different kind of sound, and we'll explore that on one of the other shows. But because we don't have a lot of time, we want to make sure that Eleanor gets a chance to do everything that she wants to do.
That might be hard. You mean like
you can squabble a little bit.
Like Fly to the Moon or something? Yeah.
They've
Okay,
got
let's
this
squabble,
great
Andy.
squabble,
I like the
the
squabble.
squabble
Squabbling?
tunes.
Yeah, let's squabble.
Yeah.
Andy.
Well, okay.
All right.
I have to tell you, I want to dedicate this one to the governor of Arkansas. I gotta just let that one ride.
Yeah.
The fellow who made this song, he made it in manacles. And it was the last thing he did
Yeah.
before they done away with him. The fellow's name was Wiley Barner. My buddy Joe LaRose made this arrangement up.
Okay.
It's called the Squabbling Blues, folks. It's a bad job. Get my picture, put it in a frame. When I'm gone, see me just the same. Get my picture, put it in a frame. When I'm gone, you can see me just the same. Oh, my girl, she got a black cat bone. When I'm gone, keep it up at home. My gal, got a black cat bone. When I'm gone, she leaves it up at home. Some folks say the squabbling blues ain't bad. Must not have been them squabbling blues they had. Some folks say
squabble some.
Squabble, squabble. Yeah, great. So we have enough time, I'm sure, to fit in a few more, but I want to make sure that we have that information for you folks who are sitting here and you're listening to these wonderful musicians, and I want to learn more about them. There's a lot more to learn about them, and we don't have that time here, but they do have websites.
Yes.
And Eleanor, you have a website?
I do, yeah. Well, it's 3 W's.
Uh-huh.
Actually, you don't need to put the 3.
Yeah, it's right up there on the
there it
screen there.
is.
So
Yeah.
that you can see right on the screen, thanks to Bill in the studio, that we have that information. So if you want to find out more about all of the different things that they're doing, places they're going, things that they're recording, you can go to those 2 websites and find out more. And we're really honored to Andy comes through every once in a while. You actually are performing with another musician who has also been on here, is the professor, William Ellis, who couldn't be here because he's working, folks, but he would be here, and we say hello to you, Bill. And but they are going to be playing together around on this tour, and I'm sure they're going to continue coming up here. So we're really grateful to have you in our community. And we look for many happy times. And we have enough time. We have about 5 minutes, so we can get in another maybe 2 songs if you're
All right,
if
sounds
you're lucky.
good to me. We try hard. I'll do this one. It's just a very, very beautiful song. And it was done originally by a guy named George Carter, and he did it completely different from how I'm going to do it. The first time I heard it, though, was at when I was at the Old Songs Festival, and Paul Jeremiah did it. He does a beautiful job, and so this is dedicated to Paul Jeremiah, who put out such good music. And so he inspired me to do this one, called Rising River Blues. Like it never done before. Come here, baby. Sit down here by me. Come here, baby. Sit down here by me. Sure does worry me. I gotta move to the alley. They don't allow me on the street. I gotta move to the alley. They don't allow me on the street. Rising river sure has got me beat. Come here, baby. a long, long time.
I think we're rolling our way out of here. And it's been so nice to have Andy and Eleanor here at the Songwriter's Notebook. I'm Rik Palieri, and we'll see you next time. You just want to play something as we go out.
Let's do that.
Let's do it. Let's do it. But it's always great to have traveling troubadours come through town. And here we go.
Just play something.
Go ahead, Andy.